Hello everyone, after what seems like 3 years of silence on YouTube, I am back. This is HyperShadow623 coming at you with a review of my revamped version of Shadowflame, my self-mock. Now after about 4 years of not even touching anything that really had to do with his main complaints that I had for him, I finally started to get the ideas I needed to change him. And that's exactly what I did here. It took me a while to get everything down to the core of what I wanted for this character. And it feels great to finally get that. The main problems I had with old Shadowflame, obviously, is that the body design wasn't mine. Basically, Shadowflame before, in a blunt way, was a Toa Shadow clone from Shadowgear 6335, because I was a fanboy of Shadowgear when I was younger. I looked up to him with my mocks and what I did. And that's basically what Shadowflame was. He was a Shadowgear wannabe. But now that I actually have my own mocking style, and that's pretty apparent with anything else I post, he was the only one that didn't fit. I mean, he had the... Oh man, I think that hand is gonna fall off. He wasn't with my style anymore. But I think now he finally suits what I'm going for. And now I'm gonna stop ranting and actually show you. I'm actually gonna review it for now. I'm gonna give you a very blunt backstory because I actually wrote the full modified full story version that I wanted to write a couple days ago. And basically goes that Shadowflame, and since he has a brother and it's Atukum, which was my secondary self-mock and my main villain, they are brothers separated at birth. And basically, Atukum was ice, he was fire, he got sent to his fire tribe, and he was raised under his dad, who was a fire Toa, or fire Matoran. I didn't really get that in there. But anyway. So, Shadowflame, which his real name is Devon, he did not get the name Shadowflame until much, much later. So I'm going to call him that. I'm going to call him Devon until whenever. Devon was part of the tribe. And he showed great courage, he was outspoken, he was smart, he was very excellent in fighting, and that was very apparent with all his training and everything he did in the village. And soon, when he started to grow up and he started to become this full-fledged member of the tribe, his dad, who was the leader before, stepped down and actually put him in charge. So after many years of being a part of the tribe, he started leading it, and when he started leading it, everything was fine, everything was going well, it was great, until Hydroxanoid, which is my old main villain, who has a very stupid name, attacked the tribe. He basically attacked the tribe, he destroyed everyone, Shadowflame was the only one left, he captured Shadowflame, and he started to mutate him and experiment on him, because that's what he was famous for. He'd take Matoran, he'd experiment them, he'd do all sorts of things. There's another mock I have called Terror Claw, already dismantled, that also followed this kind of backstory. But Shadowflame was basically in torture for many, many years of his life because of this. And so, after experimenting for many years, Hydroxanoid decided he would experiment with the dumbest thing he could probably experiment with, a Toa Stone. Once he did that, Devon, obviously became a Toa, and escaped right after that. But what we find out after is that since he was mutated so much, and that Hydroxanoid loved messing with like the power of the elements, he was no longer just a being or a Matoran of fire, he was now a Matoran of shadow as well, so he can control both powers. Basically, he just started running for his life, and in doing that, he found the Elemental Warriors, which was the old Toa team that I had back when I first started mocking, Basically, he joined them up. He wasn't the leader. That was an old, you could call it a mock, but you'd be lying, set I had, who was basically the leader. But when Atukum reigned over and Hydroxanoid was kicked off the throne because they beat him, and then Atukum was like, oh, I'm going to take the throne now, his whole team was killed. Everyone is dead. No one lived through it. Atukum was just too powerful. He was the only one. So he decided that he did not want anyone to relive what he had to live through twice now, is that all of his family was dead. So what he did is he decided he was going to scour the world until he could find a Toa team that he trusted. And that's exactly what he did. So the Toa team now consists of Protron, Raphael, Iasin, Taxix, Volts, and Cloudburst. And there's some in there like Dexter and stuff like that. They're not considered Toa, but they help. Anyway, so basically, that's the backstory so far in a very short version. The longer version I'll probably post in the description, and I'll probably put links to his Mocpages whenever he comes up, or his Flickr when it's ready. Anyway, let's get on to the actual review, shall we? So we're probably going to start with the legs. Oh, thank you, Finger. So, the thing about Shadowflame, maybe we can get some more light on it. I doubt we can. I tried. So the thing about Shadowflame that I hated before, like I said, he didn't have my own body design because I still suck at body designs, and how I can come up with anything now is a miracle beyond me. He has super stubby body, which means any type of legs that I tried did not work. Nothing worked. It either looked really stupid, or it was just, you couldn't move them. So with the new body that I'll cover in a second, this is what came out of it, are these legs. And I basically based these legs off of the revamped version I did of my other mock, Protron, which is the green Necro Knight that I built some time ago. I based his legs off of that, because Protron has probably one of the coolest leg designs I've had in a long time. And now I think he actually has probably one of the coolest leg designs I've ever had of all time. But, as you can see, this is probably my favorite part, if I can get it in the actual frame, is the shoulders with the new Bionicle 2015 Akimu set. Or, I guess it could be from other ones, but I'm pretty sure it came from here. But I think that's what really, like, ties this together. And you can also see the leg like that. There's cool stuff over there. But, honestly, these are legs that I finally grew happy with. I'm going to get them back in the shot. I finally grew really happy with these legs, and I really hope you all too, because honestly, the old ones, a lot of people have been very vocal about, they looked super dumb. I had old Lego Knight's Kingdom armor on it, and apparently it looked really imbalanced, it looked weird, bluntly, it looked dumb. But now, hopefully, I wanted to give him more of a knight aspect because I love knights, and obviously this is my self-mock, so he has to kind of resemble a knight. So I gave that to him, and hopefully everyone else will like it, and maybe I can get a better shot of like the full legs, because this is what the full legs will look like. Hopefully you all like it. Now let's move on. Sorry, I'm like recording with a webcam because I've learned that this webcam is better than like any camera I actually own. I'm gonna move the light so you can actually see it. That is much better. Kind of. There we go. So, here's the body. And at first you're probably gonna think, holy crap, that is a really long torso. And you know what? You're right. It is a really long torso. But I worked on it for like 3 hours, and this is the thing I came up with, and honestly, I'm happy with it. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with any body that worked, and this one probably worked the best out of anything I actually did. Obviously, not perfect. Shaping could be a little bit better, but for what I got, I really like it, and especially these shoulder pieces that like you saw on the leg. I really liked attaching those because I hate seeing like exposed collarbones, for lack of a better word, or like really exposed pieces, because I have mocks like that and they just irritate me. And getting like shoulders was always something I really wanted to do, and I finally did that, and it feels great. So hopefully you guys will also like that. Let's move on to the arm. I can actually take off the arm very easily because it is only connected by that thing. No, excuse me. By that thing. So we're going to set him over there, and we're going to look at the arm. Ooh. So, this is the arm. Pretty arm. I've done designs like this before on my mocks. Like, just to name a random one, Valcor the Trader, if anyone knows who that is on Mocpages. I really hope my camera isn't as buggy as it looks. I'm just going to stop it there. So, you know what, I'm going to put this back because it looks really buggy from where I'm standing, and I don't want that. Hopefully you guys won't be too upset about that. So basically, this is the arm design. I've done designs like this before, but I think this is the first time I've used actual scroll armor. Because I've seen a lot of people do that, and it looked really cool to me. I actually kept the original hands. Original hands have been there for God knows how long. And I like it a lot. And I've always kept it there, and gold has been the accent, so it's gonna stay the accent. The thing that sucks about the arm is probably that, because I was dumb and decided, hey, I'm gonna color my red scroll armor black, because I don't have any more blacks, when I can easily order more blacks and just ruin this. So that's how it is right now until I get a new one. Doubtful that it'll be anytime soon. But we're gonna move on anyway. We're gonna move on to the upper arm, which is super simple. It's just a Hero Factory limb, or you could say 2015 Bionicle limb, with the piece and the shoulder armor. I really wanted to include that too, and originally they weren't there. The scroll armor was actually up here, and I didn't like that. It looked gappy, it looked dumb, I hated it, it was gross. But I think this substitutes a lot better. I did originally have the maroon shell pieces right here, but it didn't work because, as you can see, his arm juts out some and then the axle starts popping out. But with since these are shorter shells, he can actually move his arm and it'll jut out and it won't do anything super dumb. But with the other one, since they were really long, they would either move his arm 30 degrees or they'd pop off. This was the happy balance I found. It's still gold, which looks fine to me, because the other gold on this arm is just the... Oh, I forgot. Borak eyes. Oh, I'm really out of this element, aren't I? Anyway, that's why it's there, and I really liked it, and I feel like this was the best shoulder armor for him. I might change it to the blockier version, but this is what I want to keep it at for now. And if you didn't notice, he still has his original cape with his original weapons backpack on the back, which is something I've kept for so long. Head's not different, no custom head, because I'm so boring. The other thing I wanted to show for Shadowflame, I'm pretty sure in my backstory I called him Shadowflame when I was going to call him Devon like 80 times, so I apologize for that. Unprofessional. We have his new and improved fire sword. If you know Shadowflame, you knew his fire sword before was not that great. It was really bulky, it had silver in it, and silver is not my best friend with this mock. It never was, and I always complained about it. But this is the fire sword now. I built it to look like a medieval sword, and it even has a sword guard on it. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite weapons I've ever made. I tried for the sword, and it looks really nice in my opinion. And if I can show you, without it doing anything super mean to me, I will show you what the sword looks like in his hand. You actually have to take the flame off before you put it in his hand, or the sword guard, so he can in his hand. And then you can stick the sword guard on, and then you can stick the flame. So yeah, that's what it looks like. He can't fully wrap his hand around it, but that's the best I got. And I think that looks just fine. And we're just going to keep that sword in your hand because you like it. It's your sword. It's your baby. Don't fall over. Don't hate me. I'm just trying to adjust your cape. Turn to face the camera. Love your audience. Don't lean back. Rude. The only other weapon I have is, this is the older weapon, is this, pretty, like, you could say it's a shotgun, but it doesn't really look like a shotgun anymore. It just looks like a gun. Not that great of a gun, but it looks like a gun. That is his other weapon, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to scrap this and maybe just throw in a shield, because obviously I can get a gold shield super easily and add some red accents to it and I'm fine. But other than that, I think the one more thing I'll get for you is I'm going to go to my shelf for 1 second just to show you something. Since I've talked about him so much in this review, I might as well just show him anyway. I'm going to show you a size comparison with Protron. They're a little bit taller than the average, like, Enika set. Ooh, face the camera. They're a little, oh, you should probably stand side by side. There we go. They're a little taller than the average Enika Toa set, or whatever you want, whatever Toa set you want to compare them to. Protron is a tiny bit smaller, but that's probably because of the mask. And yeah, I just wanted to show you a size comparison since I always do that in these reviews. Go away, Protron. Go into the light. Or just on top of the box, that's fine too. So, in a nutshell, that is the revamp of Shadowflame. A revamp I'm super happy with. I will tweak it, obviously, but but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna do anything huge with him right as of this moment. I don't know if I'll do anything huge with him at all in the future. I might just keep tweaking him, but I think this is as good as it's gonna get so far. I did say that before, and then this happened, but we never know, right? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. I'll post a link to his Mocpages in this Flickr in the description. I might post links to my other channels if you want to see them. This is HyperShadow623 signing off after 3 years of silence. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.